Good evening, everybody. All right, been a good trading market. That it's pretty. I got some dual trades, meaning lots of good bullish trades as well as good bearish trades, and the market index is giving us a good pattern. So there's our bobble breakout setting up on the Dow. And what is the reason for this? Who knows? Because of all the political rhetoric going on right now, like all sorts of speculation. Could it be that if the Republicans take the House and the Senate, that they get into a gridlock, which is very good for the market? The old basis of as long as the government can't screw things up for business, business can figure out its game plan and move along. So still looking at a good positive trading on the Dow. If it opens positive, J-hook pattern. Same scenario on the S&P. If it opens positive, another J-hook pattern, which means the laggard right now is the NASDAQ. And it's lagging because there's lots of bearish trades over in the NASDAQ area. So let's take a quick run through the futures markets. Crude oil prices still holding up well. Let's make this smaller. How far did it? You can see for the last few months, it's been coming back up. Gold, kind of holding up well. Silver, also holding up well. Soybeans, nothing wild and exciting, just not selling off. And wheat, nothing exciting there right now. Now, I've been trading hogs and live cattle today. You can observe the obvious. Look where they supported on hogs and live cattle, kind of the same scenario. So where would we suspect live cattle is going to? Probably back up to the top of this channel at least. So a few days of positive trading. Transportation index, yes. Also a J-hook type pattern with the expectation now that you're probably heading toward the 200-day moving average. Yeah, I'll go right to those. The biggies. Now, NVIDIA is working well. You can see the fry pan bottom, and then you can see how they bounced up after they came through the 50. But the others, Tesla, this is setting up for a very nice bearish J-hook pattern, especially if they trade lower tomorrow. Can pretty much assume wave 3 is in progress. Netflix, retro. This is not. Netflix would assume it's coming back down. I don't know whether it filled this gap. Almost. And, oh, we didn't do Apple. Apple, still not showing any great resiliency. And Amazon, not showing anything of any great resiliency. Again, coming off this bearish flutter kicker signal, then gapping down. All right, so what is working is both bullish charts and bearish charts. So we can see how the kicker signal on Moderna started this uptrend. And now we got a J-hook pattern with a non-close below the T-line. Our recommendation on Z-Lab was based upon, let me make this bigger, this bullish engulfing signal confirmed with a positive open. Just a nice strong trend. And here, same thing, kicker signal up through the 50, up through the resistance level. Just stay long on this one. The oils also are maintaining their strength. You can see kind of a bullish flutter kicker J-hook pattern on Nove. EOG, still in an uptrend. Apache, still in an uptrend. All of them are. Occidental, ExxonMobil, ConocoPhillips, Chevron, and also Ranger. Look at that best friend breakout. That's very, very compelling. Compelling enough that I need to put a little, there it is, little star next to that. And ROCC, another J-hook pattern starting off with a kicker signal. So that whole sector is acting strong. Let's run down through some of our positions real quick. Just a nice steady eddy on this one, IMVT. I closed out LI today. You had a downtrend, and this is kind of your two dark crows. Notice how yesterday they opened here and closed down here. Today they gapped it up and then closed back down here, meaning the bears are definitely in control. So closed out this position because the probabilities are they're going to bring it back, and there's other trades right now that have a lot better potentials. MAC, nice steady eddy, T-line crunch up through the 200. And INSW. So some of these are just very easy to analyze. As long as they stay above the T-line. Is that right? Jay, I've had that one. I need to add that back on. So if you will pardon me for 1 second. Set up. 34 with a color scheme of, oh, come on, move around a little bit. Let's give this a 0.8 and a color of gray. Hit OK. Hit add. You're absolutely right. Right there. Now, if I had that on my screen earlier today, I wouldn't have had to hem and haw while I was making that decision. All right, so a strong chart is AMAT, Applied Material. because of the J-hook, Morningstar, best friend, right smack dab off the 50 in the T-line. Wave 1, where do you think wave 3 could take you to? Up here. That also fits into our recommendation on Starbulk. Your best friend, gap up, positive trading today, telling you they're not resisting. You could still be buying this one on positive trading tomorrow. On the short side, have big profits in this one on the puts. But now look where we are. So what's the best strategy here? We take profits on the puts. If it continues to trade lower, then probably do a put spread. So you're mitigating your risk a little bit. That way you're putting profits in your pocket, but still participating in the down move with less exposure. GNRC, when it kind of broke through this level, and not only broke through but gapped down, telling you you're probably still in a downtrend. Snow is another one. We've got some very big profits. Right, tomorrow, do the same thing. May close out the, no, I think I'm already in the put spreads on that one. ACAD. Here's another one that didn't, or if you didn't execute it yesterday, get ready to short this on weakness tomorrow. That's still telling you got kind of a bearish trend kicker, not even a trend kicker. You've got that shooting star failure. I told you when they took it up and then slammed it back down, they wanted to get out of this one with a great enthusiasm. So the shorts are working very nicely. I say that in the sense that big profits are being made on the shorts, even though the market seems to be heading higher. So that's why the Dow heading up and the NASDAQ not as enthusiastic gives you the opportunity to kind of have both long and short positions on until the market actually figures out which way it wants to move in general. DOCN, another one with that bearish left-right combo, failure at the T-line, opening lower, puts you in the next downtrend. What happened to Daku? Daku kind of in the same category. That bit did a bullish Harami today. That one's a little bit more doubtful. And then this one, we recommended today, and I didn't even look up to see when the earnings were. But there was your bearish left-right. There was your doji sandwich breakdown at this level. Telling you there's more downside. And if I'm not mistaken, that's not it. Oh, how could I forget? Yep, the earnings knocked it down even further. So right now it's trading just below 41. So it's trading down right down in this range. So at least, so here was an illustration to show you that, in this case it didn't matter because I didn't even know they were reporting earnings today. But if you see they're reporting earnings, you want to see what they're doing going into the close. Okay, so one little observation. Somebody in the room was saying, if the Republicans win, both the House and the Senate, which it was great blowout earnings on which one? On this one? Huh. They must have projected something bad. Oh, so somebody was asking in the chat room today, which sectors should we get into if the Republicans take over the House and the Senate? And I am not clever enough to know that answer. However, just like we would see on the first day of trading after the first of the year, after everybody had 2 weeks of reevaluating their portfolios, getting out of bad positions and getting ready to get into the good sectors, what are they going after? Well, that becomes very evident on the first day of the trading of the new year. You'll see which sectors or stocks are getting the interest of the big money, and they're going to produce the strongest signals. Same scenario for Wednesday. After we know the results of the election, if we know the results of the election by Tuesday night, all we have to do on Wednesday is immediately watch which stocks and sectors are taking off with the greatest enthusiasm. That's going to be a good indication of people that have a lot more analytical capabilities, like big research departments or committees of watching what they're going to do with their portfolios. They're already expecting the sectors that will probably be benefited by the Republicans taking over the House and the Senate. There's going to, what if they take over the House and can't take over the Senate? Probably going to be other sectors. So all we have to do is see what the decisions are. We don't have to try to figure out what those decisions are going to be. So I was mentioning today, do as I say and not as I do. Had some big profits in puts on Carvana yesterday, and it closed them out down here because going on the theory that where do most people sell, they panic sell at the bottom. Well, if I just stuck with my trading strategy, if I had closed out half and waited to see what the other half was going to do, I had some more good-sized profits. Okay, so there are some good trade setups out there. Whoops. Somebody was asking about Wells Fargo today. Oops, it didn't do quite what it should have. However, if this opens positive tomorrow, you got kind of a kicker signal, doji sandwich breakout with a J-hook pattern. ACMR, you've got a doji sandwich breakout cradle type pattern. This one can be bought with the expectation that probably your first target is up here to fill the gap at the 50. EQT, good gap up through the 50. This one you look for positive trading. After that inverted hammer signal, bullish confirmation, gap up through a resistance level, also through this resistance level, you start looking for a 45 degree to come off of here. I know I asked this earlier today in the chat room. Was this because of earnings on Veru? Another one that I'd watch to see if it's going to do a 45 degree off of here. OLED. There's your kicker type signal. Double bottom. Another one that probably you want to be looking at this one for a clever option trade. So we want to be trying to find out which stocks have the best probabilities. And that's based upon patterns. Look at the classic pattern with a bobble breakout on Smith & Wesson. AOSL. Where do you think the next likely target will be if they open this positive? Probably heading for the 200. MLKN. Where's your next probable target? Opens positive, bobble breakout. Wave 1, wave 3, at least up to this level, which means you're probably getting pretty close to the 200, which everybody will be watching. Merck, not a very exciting stock, but a good pattern. And so I have to catch myself by saying not a very exciting stock. However, we can see what's setting up. So it doesn't matter what I think. That's got the prospects of wave 3, a pretty solid wave 3. So maybe you do an option spread on that one. Another J-hook pattern. Especially if this opens positive after this doji sandwich, breaking through this level, assume wave 3. So the reason we want to recognize the high probability patterns is not only are we putting ourselves in the right direction at the right time, but we can kind of calculate what the magnitude of that new price move will be. What did I just do? Okay. CPRX. Whoops. That's a very strong bullish pattern. You can see what the normal reaction of human nature is. They come up through a resistance level. They come back and test it. We can see immediately that they like the fact that it's supported. Now we're going into wave 3 with a high degree of probability. Intel. After the kicker signal, failure at the 50. Now look what we're setting up for. If this opens positive tomorrow, what type of pattern will that be on the breakout? Anybody? There you go. McMuffins, there you go. So that tells me if this opens positive tomorrow, I can be buying immediately, expecting that type of price move. So if I'm buying the stock or options, at least I know when I buy it, based upon the whole market kind of confirming, I've got a high probability trade setup. So there was our slow curve. Made some very good money on this one because of the McMuffin. And then when did you start thinking about taking profits? When it was trading up here, where were you to the T-line? Good fur piece. That's where you start thinking, where am I going to set my stop? Where am I going to set my stop? Where am I going to set my stop? Because once it comes back down through, where do you think the next likely target's going to be? Right here, back to the T-line. UMC. Pretty obvious. Bubble breakout with a best friend signal, now a doji. If it opens positive, doji sandwich breakout of this area, you definitely can be buying this one. Now, I say these are all good setups, Well, I guess the polls are, people are already making their anticipation of who's going to be winning tomorrow as far as individual races and what that's going to do to the House and the Senate. So if things open positive, I guess that's going to be more indication that people were thinking that Republicans are at least going to put things into gridlock. So look at your best friend signal breakout. These always tell you something. There's a brand new sentiment coming into a price move. Tupperware, another kicker signal. Now I thought I saw in the news the last few days that they were in financial trouble, or maybe their sales were dismal. But at least with a kicker signal, you know where your expected bounce should be. First target, T-line. CERT, kicker signal. You can be buying this one on positive trading, anticipating going through the 50. CENX, kind of the same scenario. Morningstar signal, kind of a doji hammer type day. If it opens positive, what is it telling us? McMuffin and this level not acting as resistance. And what was an additional bullish factor today? Look where the consolidation took them, right back to the T-line and started back up. That's just a little bit more added confirmation the bulls are in control. And DWAC was one of those where once you saw it moving, notice the alert started on, what is today? Monday. Started on Friday. And when they gapped it up, this is that rhetorical question. Do you buy here? Do you buy here? Where the heck do you buy this thing? That's why you can go to your 10-minute chart. Say, oh, nah, not buying here. Whoops, they're still buying. I can be buying in here. I can be buying in here. I can be buying here. Maybe I'm not buying right here. I can be buying here. And by the end of the day, what is it telling you? They're still buying. It's not like they're pulling the plug and selling it off. On the short side, what the heck? Did I type the wrong symbol? Oh, they must have had something bad after hours. Let's take a quick look here. Oops, that doesn't even look like the same chart. I'm on a 10-minute chart. That's why. Now, okay, there it is. Failure at the 50. Down through the T-line. Now your bearish best friend. That's the type where you kind of expect more downside. And I guess, is Roblex reporting tomorrow? What do we got setting up here? They open this lower. We got a bearish doji sandwich with that type of potential, bring you down into this range. HLIO. There's your bearish kicker signal. You're probably going to see that one on one of the recommended lists tomorrow. This opens lower. what's it doing? Not supporting at that level anymore. BTYX. Wave 1, wave 2. Where do you think wave 3 is likely to take you? Down here. And FLGT. That closed up there. It closed down here. So apparently after hours, did they report? Yes, today is the 7th. So they reported. So it's trading down here. Get ready to short that one. RBA acquired IAA. All right. Oh, on the 9th. Thank you, WB. So anyways, got some very good trade setups in sectors that are acting strong, like the oils, or other sectors that are still acting very weak. A lot of, so if there's any misses on earnings, they are just slamming some of these. So kind of figuring out where this target might be, I would kind of use that area. Okay. We are going to be doing a, we did the mini training on the T-line this past Saturday. That was just to get everybody a little taste of how effective the T-line is. On the 19th, we're going to be doing a full day training on just kind of dissecting or closely analyzing chart patterns and signals that improve the probabilities of not only being in a good trade, but in a strong good trade, like identifying a bearish flutter kicker signal that closed just below the T-line in the 50. That is one that you can start getting ready with a high degree of expectation that you're going to have a lot more downside. It's almost like watching a laser match here. Still some very strong trade setups, both on the bullish side and the bearish side. All right, I guess that's about all I got for tonight. That went quickly. Are there any general questions on candlesticks? Oh, to get off on a side note, the other day, I probably mentioned this in the chat room today, Darren had kind of defended the ability of Jesse Livermore, which is he's always been known as being a very good trader. I've always known he was a good trader, just never knew the background. So Darren recommended a book. I got it. And as I'm reading through, it's not a difficult read, but it's got all the same, or he did all the same basic logical trading, let's say, rules that you would see that was that is kind of built into candlestick analysis. Now, the first things he said, I guess even the first chapter, even in the intro, that he didn't like using charts. So he was using his his records of what price movements are doing. And, oh, darn. Darren, what's the name of the book? I have it upstairs. How to Trade in Stocks, yes. So it's not a difficult read. But as you go through, as a matter of fact, I keep seeing statements that we've already made based upon what the candlestick charts are telling us. I'm just wondering if he had candlestick charts back then, but this was back in the 20s. Whether he would have not had to take all his notes on prices. He had the ticker, but that's all they had back then. Pretty much was the ticker. So anyways, I'm going to put a session together on his trading rules and how we've already got those pretty well established based upon what the charts tell us. Yeah, so there's all sorts of patterns you would use pivot points. So, and we can see that much more clearly again on a candlestick chart. Okay, so with that, I guess, Jim, let's go ahead and do the double line. And in 4.2 seconds, let's do the next double line. E, B, E, G. You could go short on this one because of the bearish doji sandwich. There's your Dagwood, which is an evening star signal, followed by a doji sandwich. And look where it was confirming. You can pretty much see that this level didn't hold up. Procter & Gamble, a very dull chart because it's your quintessential institutional trader, but there's your railroad. There's your Morningstar, J-Hook. You can buy this one on the basis you're probably heading up here. In this case, I'd probably be more apt to go after a bullish spread. United Airlines, another J-hook pattern setting up, your classic pattern, fry pan bottom, J-hook. SPR, uh-oh. Good little breakout. The fact that it broke through this level, now I would suspect your next target heading for the 200. Jace, good one. Good to see you today. Uh-oh. What did I do? A nice fry pan bottom breakout. Look for the 200 to be the next target. EB, another good little kind of a fry pan bottom, scoop type bobble breakout. Nice chart. LINC, there's your J-hook pattern. I would just stay long. At this point, I'd probably just stay long on that one versus going after it. Cliffs, another Morningstar signal. Watch for it to head to the 50. North Shore. Not a very exciting one, John. It's heading in the right direction, but you're still kind of in this sideways mode. So if I was long or if I was buying it, I'd have to watch to see what happens at the moving averages. Another J-hook pattern with a potential a positive open, wobble, or a doji sandwich. Getty kind of fizzled. With it closing below the T-line and not staying up above the halfway point of that candle, you close it. Go on to something better. Kohu, another one that's with an inverted hammer, Morningstar signal, J-hook pattern. You could buy on positive trading, knowing that if it does a doji sandwich, it's breaking out, heading into the next wave. Valero, just stay long. Oracle, another J-hook pattern setting up. Click, another J-hook pattern setting up with a McMuffin setup. And Black heading for the 200. Figured going to click, we'll go look at Black. You could be buying this one. Got a fry pan bottom. I'd be a buyer of this if it came up through the highs. That would kind of tell you they're confirming this kind of belt hold, bullish engulfing breakout through the 50. Another one you could buy on the J-hook positive trading, not going to be a very exciting one, so I'd probably be more apt to go after a spread on this one. Oops, I scroll way too fast. Texas Instruments. Just stay long, heading for the 200. General Dynamics. This one you could buy, especially if it comes up through there. It's your kind of your almost bullish engulfing, at least a piercing signal, doji sandwich setup, J-hook pattern in progress. Mankind. Just stay long. You want to see this one open positive tomorrow. And Zixi, just stay long with a safety stop at today's open. It shouldn't come back down through that level. The title of the book is How, let's see, I think that was it. Whoops. Cisco, another one you could buy, confirming the J-hook pattern. ARQQ. ARQQ. That one's not coming up. Devon Oil. Nothing there yet. Still needs to get up through the T-line. Nvidia. Yeah, you could. What was the high today? 144.12. I would even go after it at 144.20. Positive news on the video. All right. So this is the double confirmation that they were supporting right on the 200 and ready to trade up. AR, same scenario. High probability trade setup. Morningstar signal right off the support levels. Papa John's, another one that you can buy on positive trading, especially if it, say, it came up through this level, confirming your fry pan bottom. I'm still holding, yes, I'm still holding the Amazon spreads, mainly because I've got the 96.91, so it's trading below 91. And if it stays down here, even if it goes sideways at this point, I think they're trading around 355. But the longer they keep staying below the 91 level, going toward expiration, that 355 keeps drifting toward the $5 level, the difference between the two. Best friend breakout. There's your classic pattern. Where would you think your first target was? Right here, and you could still be buying this one on positive trading tomorrow. BABA, not very compelling. Even though it's gapped up, it hasn't really done anything of any great consequence, meaning somewhat indecisive. I guess if you're long, it better continue to trade positive. Okay, yeah, click is, yes. Good chart. And LPI, nothing of any great consequence there, Harry. You don't have real powerful trades, and it still looks like you're in this wedge formation. With that analysis, I would probably say I'd have my money someplace else. This one is this a lithium mining? Another one that I would be buying if it broke out through this level because of your belt hold piercing signal. And UPRO. Oh, Walter, that one is not real intriguing until I wouldn't be short, but I wouldn't be long. This one I probably wouldn't be in it at all until it breaks out through the 50. There you go, Will. That's right. Okay, reminiscence of a stock operator. All right, yeah, I'll probably be looking at that. How to trade in stocks. There you go. Sometimes they just don't come up over on this system, Momo. It's just whatever each system has built into them. Now, as you can see, ARCC comes up over here. Okay, Kath, Where is it trading after hours? Still trading up. Yeah, came back up to the high, all right? That's definitely a good bullish chart. For a giant, there you go. Whoops, now I'm on the wrong charts. SGLY. Nice fry pan bottom. Make sure your volume is good. And BKSY, another little slow curve fry pan bottom breakout. Get ready on this one. This is where you get that strong price moves on that little slow curve breakout. Just stay long on this one. Baker Hughes. Whoops. Halliburton's working well. Schlumberger working well. Teva. Ooh, it's decent. It's setting up. I probably wouldn't pay attention until it breaks out through this level. Yeah, it needs to break out into new territory. And this is a nice chart. Walgreens, where do you think the next target is going to be? Up here. There you go. Okay, so it will be important to see if they can open this market positive, giving you a bobble breakout. I want to see it break out through this level. Right now, looks like the futures are trading up a little bit. All right, Jay, I'll look at that. Ah, okay. How long ago was that, Kath? This weekend. All right. All right. So if that's the case, we can kind of expect that it could go all the way up to the 200. Not a big percent move. Whoops. Oh, didn't we? Oh, I'm doing this all wrong. Hitting the wrong thing. All right. Could have a lot of upside. So just for funds, let's go look at trade. All products. WBA. So anybody that's using Guy Cohen's software, if he does something, throw it in here just so we can kind of see whether it's confirming as far as the candlestick charts are concerned. What am I doing? Oh, let's say we were looking at the 39. A vertical. 39. What do we say? We could go to 41. 41 for 41 cents. Might take a look at that. $0.41 to go to $2. That might be a good trade. Oh, okay. I know few people signed up. Anybody sign up for Guy's program? So how to trade in stocks, how to trade in stocks. Yep, so there's just some good information in there. And again, remember, he was building, Jesse Livermore was building up his trading strategy on the most antiquated, again, they didn't have, I guess he would, if he could get to the ticker tape or see what the prices did the next day in the newspapers. Okay, let's watch to see what they do with this market tomorrow. With that, let's see, I've been watching him that's Guy Cohen. We did a Saturday morning because he's over in London, so he was Saturday night. But he was using what he calls OVI, which is the Options Volume Index. So with that, the Options Volume Index was, if you all of a sudden start seeing big volume come into the options trading, that means something is likely going on. All right, last one for Jace. Nothing there yet, but you can see the J-hook pattern setting up. So if you're long, you stay long. All right, everybody, we're done early. Oh, is there a Monday Night Football? Is it? I thought it was C-O-H-E-N. All right, everybody. See you bright and early in the morning.